do it.
Reverend David Saliba would like to extend the word here.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David, and I'm one of the pastors here at First United Methodist Church. I just wanted to say how glad we are that you all have asked us to be your host while you were temporarily out of your normal meeting space. We do hope that all of you feel welcomed and at home here. Several of the Rotarians in this room are also members of the church. So if there's something that we can do, just tell one of them and they'll let me know and we'll do it better. Next time we have bathrooms this way and this way. If you go down the hall this way, just past our kitchens and restrooms, that's also where our respite ministry uses the restroom. That's totally fine with us. But some of our respite guests do have persons who help them in the restroom. So if you would like to use these restrooms, you might have a more private experience. That's all. But either way, it's fine with us. And as I said, we are glad you're here. I married a Rotarian Ambassadorial Scholarship recipient. My wife, Elizabeth, formerly Crockett, received a Rotary Scholarship, and you all paid for her master's degree in Bristol in public policy and economics. So thank you for educating my wife. And I really reap a lot of the benefits of that since she does all of our personal finances. Let us go to the Lord in prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for your love. And we thank you for the opportunity to draw ourselves together around table fellowship. We ask that you bless the meal that has been received and that some are continuing to dine upon. We ask that as we are nourished in body, that this group may nourish one another in soul and spirit. As you collect us into friendship, send us out so that we might bring that brotherly love, sisterly love out of this community, that all may be blessed through our civic engagement. We thank you for this new year. We ask blessings upon it and blessings upon all of the families touched by this Rotary Club. In Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to welcome everyone. Dr. Stewart will do the national anthem, and we're going to do it
Acapulco, without mask or with mask, whatever suits you. Thank you, sir. Sing with me.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Sherry Duffy, family of Rotary.
You know, I'm probably one of three people who probably would notice the acoustics in this room. Maybe Robbie Thomas, Al Edwards. But you know what? Even this room makes us sound good. We struggle through that, but it sounded really, really good. I was going to mention Howard was past president of the later recognized him. Sure was a great familiar face to see a fellow broadcaster come through. On birthdays, we got quite a few today. We need to be closer. All right. Tim McCraney on January the 11th. Bill Shealy on the 14th. Our Sheriff, Donald Valenza, on January 18th, along with Mr. WTV YWRGX, Robbie Thomas. Mike Azar, January 19th. Trey Michaels on January 20th, and Chris Lasser, January 22nd. That's great birthdays there in January. Anniversaries. Trey's going to be a double performer today. Trey Michaels and Ashley on January 11th anniversary, and Kevin Bourne and Tracy January 13th, and Les Moreland and Martha January 17th. Hope you all have a great week. Thank you.
Chris Judah will introduce our guest. I'm loud enough and annoying as it is, so I don't need a microphone. Want to welcome our guests. Isn't it a beautiful day in Dothan? We got no flooding rivers, no 6 feet of snow. All we got is sunshine and cool breeze. So it's a great day to be in Alabama. I want to welcome our guests. If you would, please stand and remain standing until we finish. Rick Chapman, guest of Arthur Gardner. Hal Edwards, guest of Bill Shealy. Alex Rhodes, guest of Bruce McNeil. Sean Gibson, guest of Bruce McNeil. And Chris Dixon, guest of Greg Hendricks. Did I miss anybody? Anybody from our other Rotary Club? All right, welcome today. Thank you. Stephanie Walker was our first passenger. We lost her.
I may win it today. I'm too. There it is.
1,642 points.
Wonderful. Come on.
Ticket number 7910. 7910.
I got 79.
Sort of dyslexic, but I don't think I'm written backwards or anything.
Go, Bill.
I think that's it, isn't it?
All right.
That doesn't happen. First Methodist Church has just been wonderful to work with. Josh Chapman set this up, and Wendy Hicks just gave us a run through on Friday, and it just seems like this came off seamlessly, and I think we ought to give them a big hand. Couple of announcements. Next Monday, we will not meet, Martin Luther King Day. And there's a board meeting immediately following this meeting. You go about a quarter of a mile this way, hang a left. It's up close to the church office. David Hanks will introduce our speaker.
Thank you, President Greg. First off, where's Robbie? What are you cooking for tonight, and what time is it going to be ready?
We got cheeseburgers, and, it's just for me and my wife, I can't watch it.
I'll be the one to fan one of your cheeseburgers. Who's gonna win?
Who knows?
All right. Al, you agree with that? All right, I'm here to introduce Laura Weber. She has been a friend of mine all the way back to '06 with our Landmark Park and Food Bank episodes. But she is a Dothan native, the 2003 cum laude graduate of the University of South Alabama. She started her career in Community Relations Department with the Mobile Arts Council and as a freelance reporter for the Mobile Bay Monthly Magazine. She was later promoted to managing editor of Mobile Bay Monthly and the Mobile Bay Pride, two magazines published by PMT Publishing. Laura has also served as marketing director of Healthy You, a non-profit dedicated to facilitating re-entry for formerly incarcerated women. Laura became the public relations director at Landmark Park in 2008. She was named executive director in 2019, and she still freelances as a contributor to Business Alabama magazine. She is a newlywed. She married Jack Weber back in Halloween. Is that correct? And they just had a formal ceremony on New Year's. So they're celebrating for how long? 3, 4, 6, 8 months. So congratulations. They share a home here in Dothan with his daughter Keely, with a bearded dragon named Cuddles, 3 cats, 5 hens. She enjoys reading, fiber arts, and playing traditional Celtic music with her band, Shamrock and Pistol. Did I read it correctly? Laura Weber.
I'm not sure. Don't you laugh at me, Josh, please. So like David said, I'm Laura Weber. I have to get used to that new name. Y'all probably know me as Laura Stegler, but I'm still married. I grew up here in Dothan and had the pleasure of attending Landmark Park for various field trips and summer camps and family outings as a child. And so it's a true privilege to serve as the executive director now. Like David said, I started in 2008 as the public relations director. Excuse me. And then I was named executive director around the end of 2019. And we all know what happened around the end of 2019. I think there was a hurricane that hit, and then COVID shut it down for a good couple of years. So the park did remain open for most of that time, but we lost quite a bit of revenue due to loss of like field trips and stuff like that. So wanted to just come today and tell you all a little bit about what we've been up to in these past couple of years and look towards the future and what we're planning to do in the next few years. So I've got slides here. I always forget to click, so somebody just yell at me if I forget. And I'm also very informal, so if you have questions or comments or anything, please pay my attention. Feel free to interrupt me. I'm perfectly fine with that. I work with kids, so I'm really used to it. So I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd today. So I know most of you probably do know that Dothan Landmarks Foundation started in the late 70s with the goal of preserving and educating the public about our natural and cultural heritage. We are a nonprofit organization guided by a volunteer board of directors. And some people think that we're a state park. We're not a state park. We do receive support from the city and the state and the county, but we are a privately owned nonprofit. And we're very grateful for the state and the county, but we are a privately owned institution. Our goal of educating the public and preserving our cultural and natural heritage is accomplished mainly through the operation of Landmark Park. We offer programs to the public as well as field trips for school kids. And so this picture here was we have a group called the Woodturn, the Wireless Woodturners that meet at the park. And they had a merit match day for Boy Scouts. So this is just an example of one of the many ways we educate kids at Landmark Park. And as you can imagine with something like wood turning, it's extremely hands-on. So we try to take what the kids are learning in the classroom and bring it to life, make it immersive, give them a real hands-on experience. I think that most people learn better that way. So it's something they'll remember, plus they get to make something to take home to make it. Okay. We don't just talk about agricultural history at Landmark Park, we show it. We plow with mules, like you can see here, mules and horses. We shear sheep without using electricity. We grow heirloom crops, and many of the breeds of animals on our farm are considered living antiques. So for example, the sheep that we have on the Wiregrass Farmstead at Landmark Park are Gulf Coast native sheep. And those are the type of sheep that would have been found on a farmstead in the Wiregrass in the 1800s. They're, just as an example, that breed is especially well adapted to the heat we have here. They don't grow wool on their faces or on their bellies. And so that's just one example of how we try to show exactly what would have been seen on a farmstead in the 1890s and in this area. So if you go up north somewhere, you might see something completely different, even though they were left in the same time period. We're very specific to the Wiregrass. And we do this again through field trips for school kids. We have this one here is a living history program where we actually costume the kids in aprons and suspenders and let them spend the day actually working on the farm. And they get to help prepare their own lunch on a wood stove without electricity. And if you've ever seen kids, it's so funny, they don't want to work and cook when they have electricity and vacuum cleaners and things. But you say, go get that shovel and, you know, scoop out that stall. They love that. So they get a chance to do that kind of stuff at the streets. Sorry. We teach about science and nature as well as farm and agriculture related field trips, especially on our boardwalk and nature trail. The boardwalk and nature trail take visitors on a journey through the woods and over a creek where they can see turtles, fish, native plants, birds, and the park is a site on the Wiregrass birding trail. So many species can be observed on the walking trails in Landmark Park. And again, we're very specific to what you can see right there at Landmark Park. We have developed a list of potential species of birds that you can view on the trails. And we get a lot of people who travel, and that's what they like to do is go bird watching, birding, as they call it. So they can, that's just a draw tourism to our area, as well as people in this area. I mean, birding is really a lot of fun. I think our pictures got out of order, but it's okay. We'll just keep going. A couple of exciting things have happened in the past few years. In 2020, we increased our acreage to 150 acres. We had been at about 135 acres for many years, and we were able to purchase some more land to kind of even out some property lines at the park. We have added a bridal suite to our Stokes Activity Barn. And if you're not familiar, the Stokes Activity Barn is a very large building that we rent out for weddings and parties, corporate events. And so we were able to add a bridal suite so the ladies would have a place to get dressed for their weddings. We did that in 2020. We established a community garden for veterans and their families. So in the back of the property, we have about 20 raised beds. And we teach classes on gardening there, and it's especially geared towards veterans and their families to give them a chance for networking and relaxation and fellowship. And that's been a great success. We were able to do that thanks to a grant from Wiregrass RC&D. And RC&D also allowed us to reestablish our 15 colony apiary, honeybee. And so if you need honey and you want local honey, we still have some at the park. We harvest it once a year. And that's the thing about honey is once it's gone, it's gone. We can't really harvest it more than once a year. So, that's just another way, little stream of revenue for the park, but also a learning opportunity. We teach beekeeping classes and we allow the public to watch as we extract the honey from hives. So we try to have, everything we do tries to have some sort of education element to it, with fun as well. And it's always fun at Landmark Park. It's very unpredictable. So, let's see where. We've opened a portion of the park for a dog walk. That was one of the things that I get asked a lot is, do we allow animals at the park, pets? And we do not allow pets on the Wiregrass Farmstead because of the farm animals, the historic buildings. But the back of the property where the Veterans Garden is, we now have a leashed dog walking area. So you can bring your dog and walk them. So that's something new. We also have completely rebuilt the playground. We did that a couple of years ago. I guess that was 2020. We had a playground, wooden playground that was 20 years old, very well loved, very much in need of some attention. And so we were able to rebuild the playground. So if you haven't been in a while, there's a lot of new things going on. We've added new events, including the Bluegrass Festival in September. This past year, we had our very first Native American Festival in November, and we'll be bringing those back. They were very successful. And, again, another way to educate the public while having a good time, just hands-on experiences. There's one of our living antiques, that's Grump, the red water hog. He lives on our Wiregrass Farmstead. And our boardwalk, like I mentioned, we have renovated the boardwalk completely. So all the walking and the handrails have all been redone within the past year. Again, just wear and tear and a lot of areas of the park that just need a little attention. So we've been working hard. That's our Veterans Garden. And like I said, there's about 20 raised beds, and they grow a lot of food in the back for themselves, but they also donate quite a bit to the food bank. And over the years, we've donated quite a bit of fresh produce and eggs and things to the food bank whenever we have a surplus. Beekeeping, I'm a beekeeper as well. It's the most fascinating hobby. If you have any interest in beekeeping, I highly encourage you to check it out. We've got another class coming up in February. It is fascinating. It's a lot of work, but it's fascinating. That was a band that played for our Bluegrass Festival. We've tried to incorporate music throughout the year instead of just having like one big event. In addition to the Bluegrass Festival, we have Pickin' in the Park every month. So every second Saturday, we invite musicians to bring their instruments out, get little groups and play, just jam together. That's a lot of fun. That's a Pickin' in the Park. I forgot to mention, and I can't believe somebody that got married on Halloween would forget to mention our Halloween event. We partner with All Leaves, which is the peer support group for first responders. We do a zombie run and a Halloween fun festival, so that's from. Yes, now we're getting to some really fun stuff. Back in 2022, just a few days ago, we reopened the Alabama Agricultural Museum with a brand new exhibit. So Landmark Park, like I said, we are a privately run nonprofit, but we have a very unique situation where we house the Alabama Agricultural Museum, which is a state facility. And so it's been there since the 90s, but it has undergone many transformations depending on state budget cuts and things like that. So it'd be open for a bit and then we'd have to close it, or we could open it just a few days a week. Well, we completely renovated it. Inside the Ag Museum is a brand new exhibit. And this picture right here, I always like showing this because it really gives you a sense of what a community effort Landmark Park is. We took down an old cabin that someone donated and repurposed the wood inside the museum. So we built a cabin inside our museum. and we chinked the walls with the red clay by hand, and that's what's going on right here. So you can see a lot of work goes into everything we do, and we couldn't do it without the help of volunteers. So if you've not seen the Alabama Agricultural Museum, I highly encourage you to check it out. It's state of the art. And it was about this time last year that we welcomed the governor to our ribbon cutting, which was very exciting. And now we're undergoing phase 2, where we're going to expand it. We're going to add on to the building to include classrooms and artifact storage and even more display. Another very cool thing that happened in 2022 is we renovated the lobby of our interpretive center. So the interpretive center is the building where the gift shop, the planetarium, the auditorium are. It's looked the same pretty much since I was a kid, which is awesome. I mean, it was a very great place. But it was time for a little bit of a facelift. And we had received an appropriation a couple of years back through Harry Ann Smith when she retired. And so some of that again was put on hold because of COVID, but we were able to pick back up with that project last year. And the inside of the interpretive center is completely renovated to give you this immersive experience of the longleaf pine ecosystem. And so you can go into the interpretive center. There's a child-size gopher tortoise burrow that kids can crawl through. We've got taxidermy, we've got live animals with mostly reptiles, snakes, and turtles and things like that for people to see. And in the spring, we'll be bringing back our observation beehive. So there'll actually be a beehive to look at inside the building, which is very cool. Totally safe, I promise. So this is another thing I highly recommend you come check it out. I haven't seen it lately. And the plan for this is we want you to come in and learn about the longleaf pine ecosystem, and then go outside and experience it on the boardwalk. So this year, we are going to be, since we've renovated the boardwalk, we're going to be installing 4 exhibits along the boardwalk to depict our Native American heritage. Landmark Park has a large collection of pottery and arrowheads and interpretive things from Native American history. And there are 4 little pavilions along the boardwalk that have taxidermy in them, again, since I was a kid. And taxidermy doesn't last forever. It was time to take us to something new, something new. So we're currently renovating those 4 pavilions, and we're going to have 4 pavilions that depict our Native American history, which is really cool. And that should be done, the first 2 should be done by February, and kind of reassess where we are. But within 6 months, we're hoping to be finished with that project. In 2023, we're also planning to do some repairs to the Waddell House and the blacksmith shop on the Margaret's Farmstead. And again, it's just, we've been here for over 40 years now, and the park is well loved. It's used every single day. We're open 7 days a week. So it's just time to start giving some attention to some of our buildings and make sure that they last for another 40+ years. That's, again, just a sampling of what's going on with the Native Americans. We're trying the big work along the beams. All right, so what can you do to support Landmark Park? I knew you were going to ask. One thing you can do is rent our facility. This is a picture of our auditorium. Sorry, I can't see this without the glasses, and I can't see that with the glasses, so sorry. This is our auditorium. It was set up for, I believe it was a baby shower. A lot of people use it for corporate events or birthday parties, workshops. Rentals are a great way to support them. And then, of course, the Stokes Activity Barn, beautiful site for weddings. We've also had retirement parties, Christmas parties. I will say this about the barn, though, it books up quickly. So, if you're looking for a spot to have a special event and you think the activity barn would fit for you, I encourage you to get in touch with us soon, because it does work out very well. And then, of course, we have our Headland Presbyterian Church, that it actually used to be located in Headland, in York County, and it was moved to the property back in the 80s. So it makes it very nice setting. If you have a smaller wedding, it seats about 60 people. Sorry about that. My slides, I must have put them out of order. I apologize for that. We're also right now we're having a corporate membership drive, and we are hoping to increase our corporate memberships this year. We'd like to double it. That's kind of our goal. I don't know if we're going to hit it, but I'm sure going to try really, really hard. And corporate memberships are a chance for businesses to purchase a membership to Landmark Park. And the benefits of that include family memberships, single-use day passes, and discounts on some of the rental opportunities. So I have a lot of businesses who purchase corporate memberships, and they opt to receive just day passes. They give them to clients, they give them to employees as a little bonus or Christmas gift or something. So want to make sure everybody's aware that we do offer that program. We also, of course, have our family membership program. So our most popular level of membership is $60 a year, and that gets 2 adults, and then all your children and grandchildren under 18 get into Landmark Park for free for an entire year. And that does include most of our special events. There are a few fees that we have for summer camps and things like that, but our membership is a great way to support the park, but also get some good benefits for your family. So those are some ways that you can support us. The support of the city and the county and the state is vital. And I, of course, appreciate everything that they do for us, but I gotta be honest, COVID was very difficult for us. We lost a lot of business because kids weren't taking field trips, and a big chunk of our money comes from school fees and kids coming on field trips. When there were different rules in effect about capacity of buildings having to be cut in half, we lost a lot of our rentals. So we're trying to make up for some of that, and we want to continue with our renovation and repair efforts and continue adding new things. But unfortunately, that stuff costs money. So great way to support Landmark Park. Rentals, membership, come visit if you have family in town or friends in town, you look for something to do, please come out and see us. And I always welcome suggestions, questions. I'm always at the park. I feel like I live there, which is fine. I like it there. But if you have a suggestion, something you would like to see at Landmark Park, feel free to let me know. I'm always looking for that. I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, but that's kind of how the park is. There's a lot going on, a lot of different things going on. Is there anything that I did not cover that you have a question about?
Do you still have farm day?
We do still have farm day. We do spring farm day on the 3rd Saturday of March, and then we do a fall farm day on the 3rd Saturday of October. And so March one will be coming up soon. And at the fall one, along with that, we have a quilt show. That's our big quilt show. A lot of people ask about that. So we do have those. We still do Touch a Truck in May. We do our Victorian Christmas in December. Bluegrass Festival in September. And all of that is on our website. We do have a good social media presence, so keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you still have an example of wiregrass out there?
We do, actually. I'm glad you asked that. In our new exhibit, I don't know if y'all heard the question was, do we still have an example of wiregrass at the park? In the Interpretive Center, in that new exhibit about the longleaf pine ecosystem, a huge component of that is wiregrass. And it answers the question, why are we called the wiregrass? And where did the wiregrass all go? So that exhibit helps to explain those things, and you can see what wiregrass. Anything else? Yes.
How big is your budget and how many employees do you have?
Our budget, about $600,000 a year. And we have, 6 full-time employees, for 150 acres and, you know, I think we see about 15,000 school kids a year. So we don't have a huge staff for as much as we do. And unfortunately, we did really well last year. We brought in quite a bit of money, but our expenses all went up because everything's going up. You all know when gas goes up, everything goes up. So even the, you know, the ice cream we sell in the drugstore went up. It affected everything. Doing renovations and the price of wood going up affected us. So we try to keep the budget as, you know, as balanced as we possibly can. But it has been very challenging this past couple of years. But we have 6 full-time employees, and then we have part-time employees who do things like work gift shop on the weekends and stuff like that. So, any other questions? All right. Well, thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, David, for bringing her. I'm Mark Parker, our go-to place on Sunday afternoon with the strollers, and the children could run all they want. We never had any catastrophes. And I think it's a stroke of genius. You mentioned that membership includes grandchildren. Like that. Next week, no program, Martin Luther King Day. I'd like to thank our guests today, everyone who helped in today's meeting, greeters, Demetrius Bogan, Colton Puritan, David Hanks for bringing in the program, Michael Three, and Stephanie Walker. Let's all stand for the 4-way test. Hopefully we can remember. Of the things we think, say, or do,
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will build goodwill, better friendships, will be beneficial to all concerned.
board meeting right after here.